31-30, Murray State with the lead over North Carolina at halftime. And toward the end of the first half, Sean Witherspoon was taken into the locker room. He has suffered a broken bone in his foot. He will not return to the game. He leads this Murray State team on the season in scoring. CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA basketball tournament will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Autotrader.com, Bud Light, the Hartford Mutual Funds, and by Pontiac.
(31-30). Murray State of 14 leading North Carolina of 3. Gus Johnson, Len Elmore, not a pretty first half for Murray State, but effective. They have a 1-point lead.
Well, Mick Cronin told us yesterday that what he wanted to do is prevent Carolina from getting easy baskets, and that means not turning the ball over. Murray State, with only 6 turnovers, really limited the opportunities for Carolina to get out and run in transition off of turnovers. Now, if I'm Carolina, Tyler Hansbrough just 3 of 6 from the field. I got to get him more touches. 5 of 6 from the line, 11 points. He's the guy that makes the defenses adjust.
Start of the second half, Murray State with a 31-30 lead. And here's Jennifer starting the second half at the point. Almost threw that one out of bounds. Noel deflected it. So Jennifer Hopkins, along with Redding, Griffith, and Orr on the court for the Racers out of the Ohio Valley Conference.
And Gus, a big key for Murray State is the fact that even though Witherspoon is not coming back, their leading scorer, they got a huge lift off the bench. 19 bench points. Troy Pearson and Ossian Redding have really stepped it up. And if you're Murray State, you hope they can continue to fill the void left by Witherspoon.
Now Griffith backing up on Hansbrough. Drop step and a whistle. Foul on the floor. These two teams have met before. 1995, the Tar Heels defeated the Racers 80-70 in a first-round game in the Southeast Regional in Tallahassee, Florida. Jerry Stackhouse had 25. Hopkins looking for his first make. He's now 0 for 5. The winner of this game will take on George Mason, who shocked Michigan State. Hansbrough. And he's got great body control around the basket. He can lean and dip and somehow get those balls to go down.
And boy, Pearson Griffith just put his hands up like, what else can I do? We told you about Tyler Hansbrough's ability around the basket. He's not just a freshman. He's one of the best basketball players in America.
(32-31), Hansbrough with 13. Or travel.
And for Murray State, Trey Pearson for Keith Jennifer.
There's Roy Williams. I have a feeling that he may have broken a clipboard or two during the halftime speech.
A couple of dangs here and there.
7 turnovers for Murray State. Noel, Hansbrough, Miller, Terry, Fraser for the Tar Heels. Fraser rises and hits.
Well, Bobby Fraser, not really that offensive minded, averages only 6 points a game, but he can raise up and hit that shot. He's got to make himself a threat. Keep Murray State from playing 5-on-4.
Orr on the hop, fadeaway jumper inside, grabs his own rebound, goes up strong and bangs it down.
Murray State's got to revert to their strength, their athleticism. You know, missed shots, you got to go back and get them.
Orr playing in his home state from Cincinnati. Terry curling down the lane, had to foul.
Again, you talk about quickness. Orr knew he missed this one. As soon as he hit the ground, he got to the spot where he knew the ball was coming off. And again, that's focus right there.
So Rayshon Terry goes to the line. Griffith picks up his third foul. Tonight on The Late Show, Dave's kicking field goals on 53rd Street, with the Indianapolis Colts tonight on The Late Show.
You call yourself a New Yorker.
Yeah, I am a New Yorker. And I live about 5 blocks from 33rd Street. All 3 throws good. 7 points for Rayshon Terry. 3-point lead for Carolina after trailing by 1 at the break. 31-30. Orr thinking about it. Griffith, great rebound and put back.
Excellent position. And it's because, again, Orr got inside right at the free throw line, forced the defense to kind of step up a little bit, allowing his back line to get that position. You got to take those shots. Even if you miss, you got guys in position to rebound.
Noel stepping out on the baseline. And David Noel now has 6 points. High pick and roll, Redding, lefty again. No! Griffith crashing the boards. Pearson Griffith cuts North Carolina's lead to 1. Fraser. Jennifer really closing on him. Fraser, great handle. One-hand pass. Terry, nice catch and finish. Terry now with 9. He had 5 at the break.
And Carolina matching athleticism with athleticism. Nothing complex about what these two teams are doing. They're just playing basketball. They're jumping. They're running.
Pearson, the floater.
And they're scoring.
Murray State 16 of 45 from the field. 36% shooting. Terry leans in. And that's offense.
Again, you talk about athleticism. Pearson set a high screen, and on his roll, he just went straight down the middle. There's a high screen. No one blocks him out, and he rips the rim with that one.
Coach Williams subbing in 2 players as Hansbrough heads to the bench. Danny Green and Ginyard are back in the game.
And Mick Cronin answers by resting Griffith. He's the one who's been playing Hansbrough man-to-man, and if Hansbrough's going to get a rest, he's going to rest his big guy as well, Murray State.
Hopkins curling down the lane, and he'll go to the line. 15:53 to play in the second half, and we have a 1-point game in Dayton. On 15 different occasions, 14 seeds have won first-round games, including today, Northwestern State upsetting Iowa 64-63. Murray State trying to join the elite club. Coach Cronin, he's feisty on the sideline, little guy, and you told him that he didn't look old enough to be a head coach yesterday.
Well, I've known Mick Cronin ever since he was a young assistant at Cincinnati, then moved on to Louisville. He's learned under some of the best minds in college basketball, and, you know, he's got a good relationship with his team. Being so young, that helps.
Hopkins at the line, ties it at 40. Sunday on CBS, time is running out for a victim buried alive. Catch a new episode of the hit drama Cold Case, starring Catherine Morris, Sunday on CBS, America's #1 network. Second free throw, good. Racers take a 1-point lead. Murray State led 31-30 at the break.
Another change of defense by Murray State, full court pressure.
Fraser, Green, and that is an offensive foul.
And you see what the change of defense does. Kind of sped Carolina up a little bit. Again, there's pressure in the half court. Danny Green just not recognizing what the defense is. And he gets himself in trouble. And again, that's part of youth. Danny Green, a freshman. One of 3 freshmen on the floor right now for Carolina.
Hopkins crosses over. No. Cut off by Green. High pick and roll for Pearson. Takes his time. Lets it fly. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Murray State's starting to get their rhythm and their confidence against the third-seeded North Carolina Tar Heels.
Troy Pearson off the bench with 15 big points, and he's feeling it.
Racers get back into a 2-3 zone.
And again, it's forced Carolina to take a look now. A little off balance, a little out of rhythm.
Great play by Green.
And Danny Green makes it home. He just made that with his athletic ability.
Pearson pops out. Hopkins with the step. The kick down, rises. That one off the mark for Redding. Hopkins with the rebound. And a foul on the floor in the paint. With NCAA March Madness on demand, you can watch live tournament games on your computer outside of your viewing area for free. Sign up now at ncaasports.com/MMOD. So Terry comes back into the game, along with Quentin Thomas, Green, and Sanders heads to the bench. And Hopkins checks out. He's replaced by Justin Orr. Inside Redding. Came up short. Here comes Rayshawn Terry. Carolina down by a deuce.
And look at the way Carolina's playing right now. Much more deliberate. Still can't get it to go down, even when it goes inside to Tyler Hansbrough. They got an offensive rebound there.
As you mentioned, Hansbrough not getting the touches. Ginyard, power dribble, no. Hansbrough has to do his own dirty work.
Well, touch the ball. That's one way to give him the touches. Go up strong and allow him to come from the weak side.
Freshman with 15. Tied at 44.
A big reason Murray State is staying in this game, though, is because they've got 17 more field goal attempts than Carolina. And we mentioned in the first half, it's like saturation. Just continue to put them up.
Jennifer Redding spins out. Thomas in transition. Hansbrough, great catch. Better pass. Carolina takes the lead.
Those are the easy baskets that Mick Cronin wanted his team not to give up. Off of turnovers, off of rebounds in transition. And Carolina excellent at pushing the ball up the floor and getting runners in the lanes.
Or stop and start. Shut down, knocked away, Hansbrough. Here comes a freshman on the move, straight to the bucket. And he traveled. Roy Williams can't believe it.
It just showed you the versatility of Tyler Hansbrough, though. Even though he turned it over on the travel, the big man pushed it down the floor in a hurry.
Now Carolina in a zone.
Carolina playing a 2-1-2. Keeping Hansbrough in the middle. Again, they're trying to force Murray State to slow down a little bit, think about what they're doing.
That one goes down for Justin Orr.
Justin Orr, nephew of Seton Hall coach Lewis Orr.
And a foul inside. 11:54 to play, second half. Murray State continuing to fight, up by one. Murray State up by one. The game summary by half.
Well, Murray State continuing to start to light it up. Offensive rebounding, 46% from the field. Shooting well from beyond the arc with just 4 shots. Take a look there, Sean Witherspoon. We talked about the broken bone in the foot here. He has ice on it. Still out here to support his teammates. And Carolina, we saw 78% in this half from the field on 7 of 9 shooting. And Tyler Hansbrough, 3 of 4 from the field. He's been the one continuing to keep Carolina involved.
Terry, Hansbrough, Ginyard, along with Thomas. Knocked away, picked up. Ginyard on the baseline, too strong. Get up and down, and Murray State has a rebound, leading by 1.
Carolina obviously out of the zone. Look at Hansbrough take it away
from Wright. Wright just checking into the game. And Tyler Hansbrough will go to the line.
Well, we told you 3 out of 4 in this half, 17 total points. And Tyler Hansbrough is getting the touches that he needs right now. In transition, on the move. We talk about him as a post-up player, but we've had a chance to see his mobility, which is excellent for a guy his size.
Hansbrough, 17 points. Kennedy called for the foul. Tuesday on The Amazing Race, get behind the wheel with the teams as they speed around the world. And they speed around a world-famous test track Tuesday on CBS, America's #1 network. 48-47, North Carolina. Pearson has been excellent in this ball game for Murray State. He's hit some clutch shots from the perimeter, 15 points, 10 at halftime.
Been using that high screen real well, coming off firing.
There he is again. Wham! Pearson with 18, he has 4 threes.
You better move him off that spot at the top of the key beyond the arc, because he's made a home there.
Boy, that looked like a foul inside Hansbrough, and he has it stolen away.
Bad decision by Tyler Hansbrough, one of the few that he made. When he has the ball, he's in the paint. He's got to be able to look for a shot.
And Pearson has been deadly with this high pick and roll. In the corner, right. Picked up and put down. Rob Kennedy, loose change. 52-48. Terry straight away. And it's tipped up. Noel can't lay it down.
Well, Noel usually flushes that one. If he had it to do all over again, he'd wreck that rim.
Now Trey Pearson again, setting up that high pick and roll.
See the step out by Hansbrough, forcing Pearson away from the basket. You got to do that. You got to get him off that top spot.
Kennedy, 7 to shoot, and a whistle and foul. Kennedy throwing an elbow to the freshman, Hansbrough, and he hit him right in the neck.
Well, Kennedy was trying to set a screen. You can tell he doesn't get much time out there. He just turned, trying to set a screen. Obviously, it was an elbow thrown at the throat, but obviously not intentional. Otherwise, the officials would have called it. But it's just, again, a lack of comfort out there on the floor, maybe a little too amped up.
So Pearson and Wright head to the bench. Jennifer and Johnson back in for Murray State. Hansbrough on the bench. Green and Sanders back in the game. Fraser driving, and a foul on the baseline.
Murray State foul number 10, Keith Jennifer.
That foul called on Jennifer, his 3rd. 15 foul against the Racers. Fraser the inbounder. Green. Tracked down by Jennifer.
And this is a problem with the Carolina offense when Hansbrough's not on the floor. Have a tendency to settle for jump shots instead of exploring inside out.
Or off the bounce, strip, great play. Miller, he's got Fraser. Fraser to the basket, no, but a foul. But Trey Pearson has been deadly from the three-point line.
Well, 18 points, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, and there he is right there at the top of the key beyond the three-point line. He's been able to use the high screens, maneuver the defender out of the picture, and getting a bunch of open looks.
And if you're Mick Cronin, how long do you keep him on the bench?
It's long enough for him to get a little bit of a blow. You need him out there, particularly in need situations. I think Mick Cronin recognizes this is going to go down to the stretch, and he wants some fresh legs in his hot shooter.
52-50. Murray State. Jennifer brings it up the floor. Fraser guarding. He's got Hopkins with him. Or Johnson and Redding.
Murray State looking to buy some time, trying to run the clock down a little bit.
Steal by Noel. Fraser. And we're tied up at 52.
But you can't go east-west against Carolina when they're extending their defense and denying the wings. You got to make some ball penetration and maybe kick it out. Force that defense to kind of collapse.
What kind of defense is Carolina playing right now?
Well, it looks like a 3-2 half-court trap.
Or no. Knocked out of bounds and will head the other way. How do you break it if you're Murray State?
Well, you got to bring some pressure release up from the bottom, bring them up top, hit the pressure release up high, and then they got to turn and find some open people, force the defensive back up, maybe turn and kick it back outside.
Carolina looking for the lead now. Sanders, Fraser, Green, Noel, Miller. Here's the freshman. Down it. Danny Green. He has 11. Tar Heels by 3.
Again, you see the trap right here. There you bring somebody up high. And you got to try to find some gaps as well. So there's nobody here willing to put the ball on the floor and drive the gaps like that.
9 to shoot. Jennifer, he drives, finger roll.
What I tell you, you got to drive the gaps. You got to go north-south.
Now Green on the move and a foul. Or with the push, 7:02 to play in the second half. Tar Heels by a point. What a great day here in Dayton. Ohio State trailed Davidson at halftime, but Terrence Dials led Ohio State back. And then Roy Hibbert of Georgetown, the big man, came up big. Hoyas advanced over Northern Iowa. And then Will Thomas played the game of his life as George Mason upset Michigan State. And right now we've got another great one. 55-54. North Carolina leading Murray State. We've had 11 lead changes and 5 ties in this game. As Green goes to the line to shoot free throws.
Well, this will be the 20th free throw attempt for Carolina. Murray State has only been to the line 5 times, 5 of 5. So a huge disparity there that might make a difference going down the stretch, particularly with Murray State in the penalty and Carolina with a foul to give.
Second one good. 57-54. Green with 13 points. Had 6 at the break. Now Jennifer rolls in the corner. Hopkins. Loose ball and a foul called against Miller. Good rebound by Redding. And a look at the tournament summary. The Big East 5-0 today. 5-3 overall. The Big Ten even 3-3. SEC 4-1. Higher seeds 20-8. Jennifer the inbounder. Pearson back in the game. Guarded by Miller. Carolina gets out of that trap. Straight up man-to-man now. Hopkins, he continues to shoot it, and he finally hit one from the perimeter. His first field goal. 4 points for Hopkins. Carolina by a penny. Hansbrough back in the game. He wants it, facing 12-footer, pure.
And that time, Charles Johnson did a nice job of pushing Hansbrough off the block. But you see Tyler Hansbrough's versatility. He can step out 12, 15 feet and drop it.
He has 21. Jennifer. And he'll go to the line.
Again, if you can beat people off the bounce, you neutralize all that trapping stuff. Just got to move the ball a couple times in and out, create some gaps, and push the ball to the rim.
But that pick and roll, especially that high pick and roll, you see that at every level of basketball, Lenny, and nobody can stop it. It's still hard to stop.
Well, it is. I mean, it's one of those things where you got to be able to step out, you got to hedge, you got to force the ball handler wide, and then his original defender has to recover unless you want to switch. You don't want to switch big on small.
Carolina up 59-57. Jennifer 1 of 2 from the line. Noel quiet offensively today, and a foul away from the ball. Hansbrough gets wiped out by Chuck Johnson.
Oh, Chuck Johnson again. This is frustration right here. I don't know what you're thinking about. You're playing pretty good defense. You get on the high side, get your hand out in the passing lane, and deny.
Tyler Hansbrough at the line for the Tar Heels.
So Hansbrough goes to the line. He has 21 points. He's 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Critics say the new adventures of Old Christine is laugh out loud funny. Julia Louis-Dreyfus stars in the new hit comedy right after a new 2.5 Men Monday on CBS. Ball batted out, picked up by North Carolina.
Talk about playing the high screen, how that's become so difficult. It seems like blocking out on the free throw line has become difficult. Lack of fundamentals can cost you.
Fraser picks up the dribble. Green explodes. The banker goes.
Basket by Danny Green.
Well, I tell you, I told you Danny Green coming off the bench. Instant offense, 15 points off the bench, giving Carolina a huge lift.
The winner here plays George Mason. Pearson inside. And Fraser has the rebound. Skip pass. Green again. Now Hopkins, the crossover, and a foul.
And I tell you, the Murray State Racers are living up to their name. Mick Cronin told us yesterday that they're not normally a running team per se, and he knew that coming into this tournament they'd have to play some teams that like to go end line to end line. And he worked on it between the end of their conference tournament and this particular game, worked with his team on getting up and down the floor, and the Racers are starting to live up to that name.
So Hopkins gets the first one to go.
Murray State, number 44, Pearson Griffith.
Griffith comes back in, replaces Johnson. Griffith has 6 points, 5 rebounds. Played some pretty good defense. Forcing Hansbrough to work hard. Second one off the mark. Under 5 to play. 62-58. Carolina, a number 3 against Murray State. A 14. Hansbrough again inside. Gets his own rebound. Rejected. No call. Griffith with the board and a foul.
Pure frustration on the part of Tyler Hansbrough that time.
Hansbrough, his second team's ninth.
They tried to muscle it up, and the Racers didn't move. They didn't budge. And then on the rebound, obviously Hansbrough trying to get it back. And that's the toughest thing for any young player, is to restrain themselves after they don't have success in something they should have had success in. There's a tendency to kind of flail out there trying to get the ball back, and you compound the error.
Murray State not a good free throw shooting team, 65%. Griffith a 47% shooter. And he's shooting 1 and 1. Hansbrough knocks it out of bounds. At position or on his back, and Tyler just couldn't hold on.
Sean Witherspoon right there again with the broken bone in his foot, sitting at the end of the bench trying to cheer his teammates on.
Pearson lobs it into Griffith.
Pearson better get back to the top of the key. That's where he pitched his tent for most of this game.
Down the lane, stops, the teardrop, no. Rebounded, Redding!
Did you think he saw that rebound until the last minute? He had his back turned to the basket.
He didn't see it, but he felt it. Two-point lead for Carolina.
Somehow he located, and once he got his hands on it, knew what to do with it.
Now Murray State will rest on defense, getting back into the 2-3. Redding going up high, and he steals it and draws a foul. Now Hansbrough is getting a little upset.
And not a very good pass right here. Hansbrough is open, looking for the lob, and a defender from the weak side. I'm not so sure about that foul. Hansbrough went up for it. And it looked like there was some contact, but both guys going for the ball. It might have been incidental contact. Nevertheless, Hansbrough called for the foul, and Redding on the line.
So at the line, Ossie and Redding. Murray State down by 2.
And you're right, Gus. You talk about 65% free throw shooting by Murray State. I don't know if that foul helps or hurts. They're much better if they're shooting from the field.
Murray State tonight, unofficially 7 of 11 from the free throw line. And he gets the second. 4 minutes to play. North Carolina a 3. Murray State a 14. 1-point game. The winner to take on George Mason, who upset Michigan State. Noel. Rayshawn Terry back in. Skip pass, Terry. Steps back. Tapped and rebounded by Ginyard. New shot clock for the Tar Heels.
Nice job of overloading on the weak side. Terry shoots it from the corner. You know the ball, if it's missed, will come off in the opposite corner.
Now Terry down the lane. Looks like he was held up. No call. Wow. Looked like a racer literally grabbed him by the arm.
And Roy Williams definitely has a gripe on that one, and coaches hate it when calls are missed like that in front of their bench.
And a steal by Hansbrough.
Again, quick hands, big fella playing out on the perimeter.
Inside deflection by Griffith into the hands of Noel. Hansbrough trying to find a space in the corner. That one good. Fraser. Bobby Fraser makes it a 65-61 game. He has 9, all coming in the second half.
And boy, Roy Williams exhorting his team to get strong, get nasty on defense.
Now Pearson pops out, guarded by Ginyard. Redding, hopping, oh! 12 points for Redding.
There's that lefty again.
Fraser hit his last one. Under 2 to go. In the corner. Fraser steps up, big shot. Redding with the rebound. So here we go. 1:44 to go. Murray State with a chance to tie it with a deuce and take the lead with a 3. Pearson has 4 threes today. And a timeout called by the Racers. 18 on the shot clock, 1:31 on the game clock. 65-63, North Carolina. It's happened 15 times. A number 14 has won a first-round game. It happened today. Northwestern State, last-second shot, defeated Iowa 64-63. Different story, though. Roy Williams is one of the great coaches in college basketball, and the North Carolina Tar Heels are the defending national champions. So here come the Racers, 16 to shoot. Pearson has been terrific. Orr has hit some shots. 9 to shoot. Hopkins has struggled, but he's got confidence, and he buries it. And we're tied at 65. He has 7, all coming in the second half.
The rest of this game is going to be all about defense right now. Murray State led the Ohio Valley Conference in field goal percentage D, three-point D, blocks and steals. They know how to win.
1:03 to go. Tied at 65 in Dayton.
For Murray State, Keith Jennifer.
65 apiece. North Carolina a 3. Murray State a 14. Roy Williams saying, come on, guys. He's got freshmen out there that have played well in their first NCAA game.
And as I suspected, Murray State playing that zone right now, recognizing he gave Carolina trouble before, and they don't want to match up man-to-man against Tyler Hansbrough.
7 to shoot. Fraser. Hansbrough. That's where they want it. The freshman got it. Jump hook.
And I'm really surprised Murray State didn't peel back once Hansbrough got it.
And Jennifer calls a timeout. 38.4 to go. 31 on the shot clock for Murray State, down by 2.
Talk about this game being won on defense. Murray State goes to the zone. Now watch Hansbrough down low, and nobody comes to help. You got to get it out of his hands, force somebody on the perimeter to shoot the ball. It's the most dangerous low block player in America right now, and you let him go one-on-one with your guy.
So here come the Racers. They spread the floor for Pearson. Here's the high screen. Pearson drives. Orr kicks it. Hopkins. Pearson in the cutter. Oos. And Noel gets the rebound. And a foul on the sideline.
Right shooter, wrong shot.
16.5 to go. Carolina heading to the line 1-1. North Carolina by 2, 16.5 seconds remaining in the second half. As you take a look at the game reset, Tar Heels ready to go to the line and shoot 1-1.
Well, obviously, Roy Williams going over the various scenarios and the make or the miss. Either way, you got to play defense without fouling. And certainly if there are misses, and it remains, or at least there's one miss on the second shot, it remains a one-possession ball game. They recognize who's out there on the floor. Pay attention to Trey Pearson. Watch the high screen. Step out on all high screens and force the shooters away from the basket.
So Ginyard goes to the line. He's 2 for 2 this evening. A 70% free throw shooter.
That didn't even touch iron. Freshman as cool as he want to be.
No doubt about it. One more to make it a 2-possession game. And he hits it. 69-65. Murray State calls their final timeout with 16.5 to go. Correction, North Carolina calls the timeout. Murray State still has 1 left. North Carolina with 2.
And if I'm Carolina defensively, I put forth some token pressure, continually retreating. You don't want to foul, but you want to make Murray State work, and that's what it looks like right here in a man-to-man situation. And you
Jennifer
back up.
quickly to the basket. Hopkins, no call, picked up by Miller, and that should do it. Terry, and he dribbled it out of bounds. Wow! With 4.8 to go.
Too much of a hurry. It's almost like they were running away from being fouled. Too much of a hurry.
4.8 remaining. Murray State with the basketball. Down 69-65. 69-65. North Carolina a 3, leading Murray State with 4.8 seconds remaining. Murray State out of timeout.
With 4.8 seconds left, obviously Carolina's going to pull their defense back. You know, match up again. Apply pressure until the ball is inbounded and received, and then you back up, make them work. Two-possession ball game. You don't have to foul.
Thrown to Pearson. Nice catch. He throws it up. No good. Hansbrough with the rebound. Tyler Hansbrough, the leader on this North Carolina team, as they defeat Murray State 69-65. And that sets up a matchup on Sunday between the Tar Heels and George Mason, the Patriots. Our Chevrolet players of the game: Trey Pearson, 18 points, hit 4 threes, and the talented Tyler Hansbrough, 24.
Meanwhile, in Auburn Hills, Bradley leading Kansas by 4. 1:02 to play. Vern Lundquist, Bill Raftery.
Fourth foul on Chalmers, 1:02 to go. Jim Les in his 4th season trying to get the Bradley Braves into the second round game. An upset over Kansas. Bill Self's team knocked out by Bucknell in the first round last year. 64-63 in that one. And Will Franklin is at the line for Bradley. He shoots 2. Back to a 5-point lead. Bradley was up by 10 at the half. Kansas, closest they've been is 3.
68% shooter. Remember the 3 at the half, the little ricochet. Well, these kids made some good plays coming down the stretch.
6-point game. 1 minute to go.
Are you looking for your quick hit or something? Going to the rim.
Robinson in the corner. Hawkins got it.
Penetrate, fine. A little ecstasy on that delivery.
51.6 left. Kansas calls timeout.
Kansas takes a 30-second time.
As Jeff Hawkins, the senior, cans it from the corner.
Just get your feet set. The dribble gets everybody's attention. Great organization. Come up short on the last one. Gets the body into it. Push down. Lean forward. Don't back up. A little nylon.
Three-point Bradley leads 70-67. With 51 seconds to go, both teams with 2 timeouts. You can see Bradley has a foul to give. Kansas has committed 10, so Bradley will be in the double bonus every time they go to the line. And the possession arrow in Bradley's favor.
And KU has done a nice job ragging the dribbler. And they may need 2 guards in the backcourt to assist one another.
The difference in the ball game right now is a 45-foot shot by Will Franklin that beat the buzzer at the end of the first half. That gave Bradley a 10-point halftime lead.
Now there's a chance of a step and go long. Let's see how they handle it.
Somerville gets it inbound. Ruffin, he's loose to Franklin at the other end. Got it!
What a great play. Step and go. They inbound, and the go man ends up wide open.
Robinson, O'Brien got up and made the play. And a foul. Robinson or Chalmers? Which one? Chalmers. That's 5.
Vern, this is great execution as they run the guards up and then a delay. And that's where Franklin in that open floor come up a little gimpy. And Kahn really not able to get there to do any damage.
Chalmers has fouled out 15 points all in this half. 4 turnovers for Chalmers, the freshman out of Anchorage, Alaska. 36.4. Bradley runners up to Southern Illinois in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game in St. Louis 11 days ago. They are up by 5.
And boy, they got better at the right time of the year. Second half of the season, collected themselves, got organized, more definitive in their offense, and just all solid play on the defensive end. Jim's saying they've been able to get into better homes recently. By that, players of a higher level. I think a lot of Missouri Valley teams will be able to say that.
Today's Chevrolet players of the game: Marcellus Somerville and Russell Robinson. And in their honor, Chevrolet donates $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. Daniel Ruffin at the free throw line. He is perfect tonight, 4 for 4.
Yeah, 89%. Boy, that'll get you home. The big thing for KU now is as quick as you can go, you don't have to go 3. Get yourself set, see if you can get a denial, get a turnover, get a trap, extend the game.
Wow, how about that?
Just came off the line a little bit.
Ruffin with one more. (73-67). Bradley in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1996.
Nice down and through for Hawkins. Go to the rim. You end up trying for the 3. If you don't make it, you're in deep trouble.
Rush, Sasha Khan. They come back and try for the 3 again. 21 seconds to go.
Now it's the 3-point venture. So I'm big at going for the 2 right away. Extend that game. You miss the 3. They start rejoicing in Peoria.
17.4 to go. And Bennett goes to the line. He's 2 for 2 tonight. One more.
Well, they never backed off, did they?
No.
Think about it. I mean, a little run by KU. Showing a lot of Valentines out there. Great preparation. Even defensively on inbounds plays, they were extraordinary when KU would try and score.
1 year ago, Kansas defeated by Bucknell. That was a 14 against a 3. Tonight it's a 13 against a 4. Franklin defensively from the corner, Hawkins. Time called, 9.4 to go. Kansas cuts the margin to 5. They trail by 5 with 9 seconds to go.
And Moody in the game, either he'll be on the ball or face guard. The next logical receiver played a free safety. They ran a nice play early. They got it in and went deep after they got it in.
Somerville runs the baseline, and the foul is called on Brandon Rush.
Yeah, you're going to extend the game. That's what you have to do. But the sprint to get free was the key. Don't want a 5-second violation.
And so the long walk to the other end of the court where Bradley will shoot 2. Bill Self's team, I think he thought they had rid themselves of ghosts this year with the great finish and the convincing win over Texas in the Big 12 championship game, 15-1 to the end of the year. This very young team seemed to have come together, but tonight they have been handed it by a Bradley team that has been really adroit.
We have seen the edge to a team that people think is not of that level, and sometimes emotionally you don't peak. I mean, this is the NCAA, and it's getting more difficult every year. First round now, you better be ready from the get-go.
Tony Bennett shoots one more. Six-point game, 8.8 to go. Hawkins.
Don't want a foul, just play. Now they're going to give it before he shoots it.
Yes. And a foul to give. That's only the 6th team foul on Bradley. 4.7 to go. Jim Less prowling the sideline. His team in the NCAAs when he was a player in the mid-'80s. Here's Hawkins. Got it. 3-point game, 2.5 to go.
Still got to inbound it properly. A lot of pressure on Bradley.
To go, Bradley with a 3-point lead, and they will inbound the ball.
And you've got to be prepared on your screen and your pop back if you're Bradley. Come to the ball, make them come over you or through you. Once again, Moody on the big fella, O'Brien, and Rush looking to play free safety.
Somerville will inbound for Bradley. Calls time.
What a great job. A lot of red shirts up at this end. Tough to inbound with so many people. You bring the defense into play.
2 seconds on the clock. They lead by 3. The difference is that Will Franklin 45-footer at the end of the first half.
It sure looms big, and you can run the baseline here, which is very helpful to the inbounder.
And he does.
They give the foul before. This is, it's one of those heads-up plays, and I think the punishment should be more severe away from the ball before it's inbounded. Maybe something that could be addressed.
So again, the long walk to the other end. Take you back to just before halftime. Will Franklin, as the clock was winding down, number 4, launches one from 45 feet, bank shot.
Well, you might mint that one. The kiss by Franklin.
And it is that shot that at this point is the difference in the ball game. Now Bennett at the line. That should do it.
Yep.
Sasha Khan on the floor for Kristen Moody.
And they've made all the big free throws coming down with the exception.
51 seconds.
And you know, Jim, he was able to see the clock right in front of him there. He had a good look at it. I'm surprised he didn't put it up quicker. See, everybody trying to drive the ball instead of taking the shot.
35 seconds. And Sparks comes in off the Delaney miss. And they're going to send Sparks to the line. He'll have a 1-and-1.
I fault UAB a little bit there in the fact that everybody was trying to drive the ball instead of driving and kicking back out for the jump shot. You're down by 4.
And look who's watching. Jim Calhoun.
Not often you see a head coach stay around and do the scouting. That's what those assistants are for. And, you know, I thought it was interesting when he was talking about, you asked him the question, was he ever nervous about that first game? And said, well, I looked over at George, said we could be in trouble.
George Blaney.
Yeah, who's sitting right there with him now.
His assistant.
Very able assistant.
Sparks. One more to come.
I can assure you that Jim Calhoun thought he was in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he wouldn't give us that.
No, he didn't want to acknowledge it.
Kentucky with a plus 14 edge at the line. It's the roll. And it's a 6-point lead with 30 seconds left. UAB brings in an outside gun in Derek Broom. There he is.
Maybe a little bit too late, though, to get him out the ball game. He's the kind of guy to be looking for that three-point shot. Now they're going to have to take crazy threes.
McDonald puts it up.
Hey, we hit it before.
Bangs it home with 19 seconds.
We saw the guy guarding McDonald do that once before. Step in and take the three.
You talking about Austin last year?
Yes, I'm talking about Sparks.
How about you win the Big 12 tournament, you're Kansas, you're knocked out. You're Syracuse, you win the Big East, you're knocked out.
What Southern Illinois, you win the tournament, you're knocked out.
Marvette McDonald, the senior for UAB, keeping the Blazer hopes alive with 19 seconds.
Jim, there are 3 teams, Duke, UCLA, and Florida, however, that won big conference tournaments that still are alive.
Well, you were going to the break and you were talking about all of the mini conference champions that got knocked off. And you mentioned Iowa, you mentioned Kansas, you mentioned Syracuse. Southern Illinois won its conference tournament out first round. But Bradley, one of the last teams in. How about the Braves? Got to give it to them. And a big win for the Missouri Valley indeed. They get 2 on to the second round in Wichita State and Bradley. Rondo with a 1-and-1. Huge. And that unusual style where he puts it up with the one hand and a lot of spin. And that was a big one. 17 seconds. They've now hit their last 15 at the line.
And Rondo is just a 57% free throw shooter. He's got those huge hands. It's a lot of palm on the ball in his free throws.
1 of 2. 2-possession game, though. McDonald got the last one from here to go, and not this one. Morris up high for the rebound, and it's going to Kentucky with 7.9 seconds.
If you're Morris, you don't want to throw that easy pass out. You're better off just hanging on and letting them foul you.
Perry needing some help. And timeout called. Sparks ran over, saw that his teammate was in trouble, and Bobby Perry has been grinning an awful lot tonight, and rightly so. He has 25, and the Cats lead by 4. Billy, we've got the last 7.9 seconds of the first round. Well, everything's in but this one.
The only thing you can do right here if you're UAB, you've got a foul on the first touch of the ball.
Crawford with a lot of space, and Broom comes over.
Well, they've got a half a second off. And Crawford can really end this ball game right here.
And they're in the double bonus, so he'll shoot a couple.
And foul shooting for Kentucky tonight, really a big differential between what we anticipated. Kentucky 25 of 28 from the foul line. Had a chance here to shoot 30 free throws on the night. They have really lived there.
That one bouncing around and out.
All right, now if he misses this free throw and you're UAB, you don't need a 3, but you got to get quick score, whatever it is, and immediately foul again.
Got one timeout left, the Blazers, if they can get the quick score at the other end.
2-possession game still. Got to put this up quickly, though.
Got to move it. Donald puts it up, no go, and this is going to do it. Kentucky and UConn have a date Sunday in Philadelphia.
2 of the big names in college basketball.
Chevy MVPs, Delaney, 13 for the Blazers. Bobby Perry, previous career high had been 22. Sets a new standard tonight, including 10 of 10 at the line. Mike Anderson, he's had some big tournament wins. Kentucky reverses the loss 2 years ago to UAB, and there you see it. We're going to have Arizona, Villanova on this floor Sunday, and Connecticut and Kentucky. 2 good ones. I'll see you then, partner.
Right, Jim.
For Billy Packer, Jim Nance saying so long from here. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, our 25th Road to the Final Four.
We welcome you back to our studios here in New York and the road to the Final Four, powered by Pontiac. What an unbelievable day. We'll get to all of that. We hope to have another one coming your way tomorrow. Noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. The road to the Final Four comes your way, and here come the games. Tipping at 1:10 Eastern time in Greensboro, George Washington against #1 seed Duke. That'll be followed by these games: Wisconsin-Milwaukee against Florida, Wichita State against Tennessee. Then 3 games: Washington-Illinois, Montana-Boston College, Texas A&M against LSU. We'll wrap the day with Alabama against UCLA and Indiana versus Gonzaga. Here's what took place today. Kentucky survived the challenge from UAB. They beat the Blazers 69-64. Also today, Texas knocks off Penn 60-52. The Longhorns will advance to play North Carolina State. Kansas fell to Bradley 77-73. The Braves move on to play the Pitt Panthers, and North Carolina's Tar Heels, the defending champs, by 4 over Murray State. It'll be Carolina against George Mason. Now with the field of 65 cut to 32, let's take a look at some outstanding individual efforts. Here are the 4 Pontiac $1,000 to the winning school's General Scholarship Fund. A timeout. The road to the Final Four continues after this. It was another great day of March Madness. What team impressed you guys most today?
Well, a couple for me. I think Pittsburgh was terrific. School record 67% shooting from the field. How about Arizona? Almost 60% shooting from the field for the game.
I'll give you a couple of 1 seeds. Memphis really looked dominant over my Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. And I think that UConn was very impressive in a very tense situation against Albany, finding the right combination. Hey, survive and advance. That's what they did. You got to give them credit.
I thought Murray State was incredibly valiant in defeat, losing by 4 to North Carolina, minus their leading scorer. We remind you, tune in to NCAA March Madness highlights on CSTV next for all the highlights and stories.